Right. Hi guys, Mick here, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. Just a quick one, just a quick live stream that I'm going to sting up there. I've had somebody contact me who was really quite concerned and quite worried about this new government alert system. Okay, so I've done my research, sat down, thought, right, okay, before I waffle about that, let's do my proper research. Let's go a bit in depth on this. So, government alert systems in the UK started during the 1940s, during the Second World War. Okay, it was managed through the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, which was part of the government at the time, and it was there to get information out on the radio and via networks so that people were up to date with what was happening, what to do, what the procedures were, what to touch, what not to touch, things like incendiary bombs and that, and get the information out to the general public. Because at the time, pretty much everybody listened to the radio. It was the main communication device. It was the mobile phone of the day. We then entered the Cold War era, and the BBC, again, were left to manage this. So we had the National Alert, or Nuclear Alert, wasn't nuclear, Warfare Alert System, which the idea was they could then put the information out to the UK, we're about to be attacked. Okay, we jump forward. In 2014, there's a date I want you to remember, 2014, the government did a report on how do we notify the public of risks. Now, bear in mind, this was after terror attacks and so forth worldwide. And they sat down and they thought about it, and then they approached the organisations and they said, well, look, hang on, the way to do it is through a device that everybody has. Not everybody listens to radios anymore. Not everybody watches the TV, but the majority of people have mobile phones. So they did consultations and they looked into it. And they come up with a system or an idea that they would be able to notify you if there was a terrorist attack in your area, so that you could shelter, take cover and avoid the risk. And people say to me, when's there been a terror attack? Okay, I've done some research. Okay, MI5 Details. There were 31 late stage attacks foiled in the last 4 years alone. Okay, 31 attacks. I don't know what they were, but at the end of the day, if it had been attacking your area, your alert would have gone off and said, don't go into Farnborough Town Centre, there's a guy running around with a machine gun. You can avoid it. That's not a bad thing. Okay. Wildfires or fires. So there's another risk that they wanted to put on there. Okay. People say to me, in the UK, we don't have much problem with that. Simple statistic for you. Last year, 2022 alone, 745 wildfires in the UK in 2022. And if you remember the news, how many of those did you see where people in villages, some people in cities were affected by these wildfires? People lost their homes, their possessions. Okay. Some people, unfortunately, lost their lives. So again, is it a bad thing to have a warning system for wildfires, especially if you live in a rural area? Yeah. Is it a bad thing that you have a system so that farmers notified there's a wildfire 2 miles away, could be spreading towards his crops? Right? Is it a bad thing to get an alert to tell you there's a wildfire near your home, you've got your dog back there, or your kids are back there, or your family back there? I don't think it is. Okay. Let's go on to floods. Now, flood statistics were really difficult for me to find. I was trying to pin them down. Flood, it's just such a big word. So I went with the worst case scenario. I went on to the government statistics, and since 2007, there have been, look now, 51 flash floods in the UK. Now, these are flash floods that have damaged property, ruined people's homes, livelihoods, and so forth. Again, do you want to get caught in a flash flood? Or would you rather something come up and said, get out, go away, avoid, go to cover? Okay. Only 51, let's face it, it's only 51 floods. Every year we see on the news all these people affected by floods, but hey, it doesn't happen to me, so I'm not worried about it. Okay. Yeah, that's sort of the attitude we have. We're supposed to be preppers, survivalists, whatever. So your thought process should really be, the more information I have, the better. Okay, so this was all planned in 2014. It's only this year it's finally come out because they've had to review it, plan it. They've had to try and get all the phone companies involved. And people say to me, I don't want the government telling me what's going on. I don't want it. Fine. Don't have to have it. Okay. Go to the settings on your phone. Right. Go to alert settings and switch off alert and severe alert settings. You won't get a notification. But it's an opt-out. Everybody can opt out. And they've had to put that on there. So I don't understand what the paranoia is about. If you don't want it, switch it off. Me personally, as a good prepper and survivalist, I want as much information about what's going on as possible. Remove myself from risk. Am I paranoid? Am I afraid of it? No. But sure as hell, I would like to know if there was a problem in my area so that I could do one, prepare, grab my kit, or get out. Okay? So that's just my thoughts on it. Okay? Guys, love those you do. Forgive those you don't. Peace and light be upon you all. Come and join me, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. Sunday night, 1900 hours. If you want to throw in your 5 pence worth, do so. I'm happy to listen. Just have a laugh and a chat about these things. Okay? Guys, don't get too paranoid. Don't get too scared. Be free. Be yourself. Mickey, out.